It has been a slow month in the world of Elite Dangerous, as AX commanders have been focused on the California Nebula to mop up the remains of antique Xenos combat zones that Fargoid invasions left behind, and which currently exist only in that zone over there, which is kind of remote. It's actually 2 carrier jumps away, but that's where most of the AX action is happening these days, if you're interested. Or in the Pleiades or of a nebula if you want to stay closer to home and want to fight in a more traditional sense. The older generation of Fargoids that are still present in those areas. Front Developments, in the meanwhile, has been busy in working on its Trailblazers update, which is scheduled to go live on February 26th, the same day when they have a Frontier Unlock session where we'll presumably be discussing the new release coming up, which we've touted as a public beta of some kind. In the meanwhile, they have just touted on X a new ship that they are teasing with this image that you see in this panel here and that we can bring full screen, and for which not only there is not much information, but even the image itself doesn't give us all that kind of hints with regards to its nature and its purpose. Pretty much the only thing we can tell from this image is that it is more likely not going to be a small ship, considering the people in the image are sized as such that, again, this appears to be a small hull. Keep in mind, ships in Elite Dangerous are absolutely humongous. The image in the bottom right of the screen seems to hint at what the overall outline of a ship could look like, even though I'm trying to reconcile what the bottom right image is with what we actually see in the center of the image, and I'm not sure I can quite get my head around how exactly it kind of looks and doesn't look. But I guess that's just part of a head-down view versus a side view. Anyway, the design itself of the ship is kind of somewhat tricky to reconcile because it's not whitish or curvish or smoothish enough to be a Gutamaya design. So presumably this is not a Gutamaya Imperial hull. It's also not really blocky enough to be of the Federal line of ships, such as the Federal dropship, assault ship, gunship, or corvette. Although from a color perspective, this probably resembles the color scheme of Federal ships more than anything else. I don't know why, but it just doesn't give me the jive of Alliance ships, with Alliance ships having nacelles on the sides, like the Challenger, Chieftain, and Crusader, and this being kind of blocky single ship with more rounded edges. It doesn't give me that kind of jive. So I'm not really sure which producer the ship will be from, nor what its intent and purpose is going to be. If I think about roles, considering that we have a combat ship in the form of the Python Mark II, that we have a trader ship / miner ship in the form of a Type 8, that we have a dedicated explorer with Mandalay, and most recently we have a multi-role small ship in the Cobra Mark V, the only purpose-driven ship that still has to make an appearance in terms of new hulls would be a passenger liner. But again, somehow this doesn't quite strike me as a passenger liner in terms of design. Nothing in this image hints at this being even remotely close to being a passenger liner or a hull. Furthermore, we already have a small passenger liner in the form of a Dolphin, which is a very capable ship as far as small ships are concerned. In fact, it's probably my personal favorite ship to do exobiology and as a bubble taxi. So that would be an odd one to couple up next to a Dolphin if the role was to be that of a small passenger liner. So I'm kind of trying to think about like what specialized role or what particular niche would be the design intent for a new small ship, as imagining a small combat ship is a bit of an oxymoron, as small ships are generally and inherently underpowered as far as combat is concerned. Yeah, sure, you can do decent things like the Cobra Mark V handle itself more or less decently, but overall they can't really compare to medium ships when the going gets tough and things kind of get serious. Again, it doesn't strike me as like a passenger liner of sorts. It doesn't look like one. It doesn't look like an Imperial, not really Federal, no even Alliance ship. So what the heck is this thing? I don't know. I'm kind of curious. What do you think it is? We'd love to hear your comments in the comment section below. So let's take a guess. Let's see if we can figure out what the ship is, and looking forward to hearing more on February 26th. Commander Mechan, over and out. And glory to mankind.